showing my face or anything.
Huh? Let me feel all right. Bye. See you.
Like I'm not revealing myself.
Okay, don't. Okay, okay.
Yeah.
That's also one way to. That's also one way to do it. It's a good one, Shai.
Yeah,
The only
but
the only thing is just to test it anyway, just to test the idea and see how it's going. Good evening, Mr. Bode.
yeah.
How you doing?
I am very good. And how are you?
I'm great. I like this your mic. I'm looking for something like this.
Oh, well, and I've got two.
Really? Uh,
Yeah, if there's a way I can post one to you, why not?
now that the posting will cost more than more than the amount. Because more
I
than the
got
amount.
I got this. Yeah, I got this from work.
Okay, okay.
Yeah,
It's cool. This is one that a lot of online marketers make use of. And it's quite clear.
yeah, absolutely.
So how's it going? How's work?
Yeah, not bad. First and foremost, just wanted to appreciate the fact that you still, in a way, accepted this meeting, despite we could see your frustration last week. But I can you can guess that we are pushing things up from our side. I just want to say thank you for that. From my side, what I'm trying to work on is I'm trying to work on the affirmations to improve sort of emotional and mental well-being, building the courage to move forward in life after a heartbreak. So that is purely for both men and women in order to see what sort of data content that can be created from that. And so far, maybe I can put that in the chart. I've got about 12 affirmations. So I'm just looking like what format, if I need to progress on that, what sort of format would that be represented in or as?
Mm.
Or would that be in form of a card or what? Because affirmation has to be a consumable content that will be repeated over time.
Yeah. Okay. I think basically based on what you're saying, so the avatar is someone who has gone through heartbreak, yeah, and they want to recover from it.
Absolutely correct. Yes.
Okay. Um, in that regard, yeah, when you go through heartbreak, there's something that happens to you whereby there are two things. Number one, you are blaming yourself for what happened. The second thing, you are feeling like you're not enough. Right? You're feeling like you're not enough. That's why she left, or maybe that's why the outbreak was caused. So the thing I would, if I'm going to go with that as a product, the angle I would look at it from is how do I that affirmation will be like. Have you watched The Offer? It will be like something that attaches. It can be like a checklist, yeah, a checklist, just like a report. I mean, sorry, a PDF or a picture format. It can be like in picture format. It can be like something that attached to your main product, but it can't be the main product. I don't know if you get the affirmation alone cannot just be the main product because if you're telling me you want to sell me affirmations, I don't really think I'm going to buy that. If you're telling me that's going to help me with solving my heartbreak problem, but if it's going to be as an attachment to your main product, which is the thing you want to teach them to get out of the steps you want to walk them through to get out of that emotional down emotional state, then that will not be more. I think the avatar will perceive it more because then it sees that, okay, this thing is more valuable because I'm in the down state and I want to get out of this state. I can't forget this person. I'm thinking about how do I pick myself up from this? How do I really better myself in this regard? So if you have a program for me that's going to teach me, the daily steps I need to take, the actions I need to take to be able to forget that person, then you attach the affirmations to it. I think that's going to be a more compelling offer to make.
Thank you for that because I have about 12 affirmations that's been carried out. And part of that, for instance, the top affirmation talks about the self-love and acceptance. Just accept who you are, and in a way, and also to be deserving love, and just accept yourself unconditionally, and also look into the self-worth as well. And outside of that, the second is about the emotional resilience, just to, in a way, to navigate through that life challenges or that through heartbreak challenges.
Mm.
And the next is about the moving forward with courage. How do you progress forward in terms of having that strength, having the courage, and also to let the past
Mr. Bode?
go? And yes.
Sorry, I forgot that BJ was telling me something before I just switched, so that because he came first. Sorry, I think I just remembered now. We'll go to that. We'll go to that.
It doesn't matter. No, I'm learning.
Yeah, okay.
I'm also learning from what he's saying. Yeah.
Okay. So you should go ahead, eh?
Yeah, sure.
All right, you can go ahead.
I'm happy for BJ to proceed.
Yeah, you can go ahead.
I'm happy for BJ to proceed. BJ, you can proceed.
No, he said you should go ahead.
No, you can't. Keep talking.
Okay, thank you for that. And as I was saying, the third resolve or resonate around moving forward with courage, how to have that courage to let the past go, and also to embrace the future. And in order for having that open-mindedness and having to see a new experience ahead and look into the opportunities that lies ahead. And I'm not going to go through everything, but the next is about the self-compassion. I also wrote something about, or part of the research also goes into the self-LD boundaries, knowing the boundaries in terms of, so that you don't get into another form of emotional trauma within a very short period of time.
Okay, let me ask some questions. Let me ask some questions so that we can tailor it to a specific direction. Yeah. How are these affirmations written? Is it like you are explaining each of these topics, or you just like you just say it out, or how is it like the format?
Yeah, the format is okay. Maybe I will put it into the chat. Just
okay, just put like two or three in the chat. Let me see the format. Yeah.
Okay, 2 or 3. Let me. Okay. Okay. I've got. Okay. I'll put in 3 in there. 3 affirmations. So I put the 3 in there for now. So obviously I've got about 12 affirmations, but only 3 as you requested. And those 3 can be developed on. And
okay, no, I just wanted to see the format, the how it looks like, to know if it's confirming with what I'm saying. Okay, for what you have here right now, okay, this is just affirmations. I get it now. So is there a way, the way I will put it now is this. Is there a way you can convert these affirmations, yeah, into like an online training, or maybe you explain deeper and giving the person action steps they can take to be able to achieve, for instance, the first one says self-love and acceptance, right? Are there things you can teach this person that can make them, develop this self-love and acceptance within themselves? What action steps do they need to take to do that? Like, can you walk them through a process to allow them get that result in that first affirmation? Then now you can now add this affirmation as one of the things they have to say in the morning. You get me now?
Can I ask a question, sir?
Yeah. Let me just fill my train on self. I'll come to that. Okay?
Well, I just want to ask what's the meaning of affirmation. That wasn't what.
Okay. Affirmation is like something you tell yourself to convince your subconscious to believe in an idea. You get? So, for instance, for people who, because I used to do that a lot, I still do it anyway. It's for people who are, for instance, you are in the process of like, you want to achieve wealth, for instance, yeah? one of the most powerful things you can do is convince your subconscious that you are worthy of, receiving money or achieving wealth. So the way to do that sometimes is by saying some statements every day. Like every morning you look in your mirror and just say some words, just to convince your mind and put yourself in that positive state to be able to receive that thing you want in your life. So that's what affirmation is. Am I correct, Mr. Bode?
100%, sir.
Okay. So like I'm saying, yeah, I don't know if you get the point. So one of the things we could do in that regard is tailor it in not just giving them the affirmation, but making that affirmation as a tool, can be the tool to make the offer more tangible. I don't know if you've seen the module 3, where I talk about creating offers. So for them, after you have your core products, you want to have an extra, like certain tools you can add. It can be checklists, reports, and all these things to add to that core product to be able to make it a more tangible or worthy or very valuable offering. So for instance, if I'm telling you that come and buy a product that teaches you how to, say, lose weight, yeah, there are a lot of people in the market who are going to be teaching people how to lose weight. You get me? So one of the things we'll do is not just give people how to lose weight, but also give them extra tools that they need to be able to lose that weight faster. Like we can add meals, we can add cheat meals, we can add what else? We can add different things that makes it more tangible. What am I doing? Okay. We can add different things that make it more tangible, like cheat meals. We give them maybe prepping exercises. We give them what again? We just find certain things that we can add to that offering to make it more valuable, so that when they see the money you're paying for that stuff, it's going to be like, wow, I think this thing is really too cheap for this price. You get it? You want to make the customer feel like, oh, the money I'm paying to get this thing is really not, it's not worth it. No, sorry, not worth it. It's too small. They want to feel like they cheated you, that it's too small because of the offering, the value they're going to get when they get into that program you're selling to them. But to do that, you have to stack a lot of things, right? You have to stack different things to be able to, make it that robust and attractive to the customer. I don't know if I answered the question correctly though. Mr. Russell, welcome.
Yes.
Adebayo, seems you are tired from work. So yeah, Yoni.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening, Mr. Russell. How's it going now?
I'm good. Hold on.
You're still at work?
Yes.
Okay. So any question again, Mr. Bode, are we clear on that, or you still want to go deeper? Let's try to dive deeper on that.
I think I'm good. We can give others opportunity to ask. I've written down some of the few things you have spoken, and I just need to go back and to develop into each of those affirmations and how I can also put in a picture and or as an attachment as part of the product, as you mentioned.
I want you
so
can
then
do again.
The next step.
Yeah. One thing you can do again to make it easy now is like this. Okay, let's say now I want to, because sometimes people confuse this idea of turning an idea into an online course or an ebook or something like that. Because basically, I keep saying it. I don't advise anybody to go with ebooks because it's still the same amount of stress. So, for instance, now let me say I want to create an online course on this affirmation you talked about now. So, I want to say module 1 is all about self-love and acceptance. I want to teach somebody how to, develop self-love and accept themselves, because that's where everything starts. So one of the things I could look into is, okay, what steps can I walk them through? What steps can I walk them through to be able to allow them understand or see the value or build that self-love? Yeah. So if I think about it, one thing you can go do, if you want to do a sheet will be going to AI to just asking some questions like, I'm developing a course on this. You feed it the affirmations and say, look, from this affirmation, I want you to design a curriculum that can walk somebody through the process of, getting out of heartbreak using the steps. So that will not be something like you give to this person. So you give to ChatGPT, then it brings up some ideas. From there, you now pick up some of those ideas and say, okay, give me some action steps I can teach this person to be able to achieve this particular result. Yeah, so once you do that, it gives you some ideas again. Then from there, you want to make it like, you want to turn that stuff into a framework, like something that they can run with. So when you're not there with them, you are going through that product, they're feeling like, oh, okay, step one, I have to do like this, yeah? I have to do this to be able to get self-love, yeah? Step two, I have to do this, yeah? So step three. So for me, if I want to teach somebody that, I would think about, okay, the first thing will be just accepting that you are enough, that no matter what you are going through, you are enough to conquer that situation, you are enough to be better, you are enough to find love again. Yeah, since we are using an avatar that's going through emotional pain, you are enough to find love again. So whatever that happens to you, I think one very important thing you can teach that person is the act of taking responsibility. So that thing has happened. So let's focus on what we can change, because we cannot change the person's mind. Yeah. So let's focus on changing ourselves, making ourselves better. Yeah. So one thing I can think about is, okay, how do I structure a curriculum that makes it possible for that person now to walk through the process of, at the end of it, from feeling down? I think a part of that will be you giving them a lot of like a motivational stuff, because that motivation will get them into the right state of mind. So now you cannot start asking some probing questions like, okay, I understand that this thing has happened, so you are going through this pain. So let's think about the things you've gone through in your life that you feel like you're really proud of right now. So let's stack those things. Let's start from stacking the things you have gone through, like, okay, the things you've been able to experience, and the pains and the wins you've had in your life. So the person can start listing the wins out. Okay, 2003 I achieved this, 2001 I did this, 2002 I achieved this, 2003. I think if we all look into our life, we are going to find those small wins we have. And if you stack these wins enough, you're going to be able to convince anybody that, yes, actually I can really become more. Because if you look at your past, you see that, yes, even though maybe life has not been too easy, or not been easy, a lot of things have been happening, difficulty and all this. But if you look at inside that same past, you are still going to see a lot of things that you survived that a lot of people could not survive. You're going to see a lot of people that you are better than currently, that a lot and things that you overcame that a lot of people could not overcome. So those are the things you now remind the person of, to get them to understand that, yes, you actually have everything you want. So a part of that will also be breaking their mindset. If they have any mindset of like, oh, I'm not enough, or I don't think anybody I can find love again, or I don't think somebody can love me for who I am, or I don't think I'm worthy of love. Some of those things you cannot put it into the curriculum to make sure that you want to get the person from they are feeling this way to, after they go through the program, they're feeling like they are empowered. You want to empower them to be able to feel like, yes, I think I can actually, move forward, because that's what you are giving people. Because let's be really factual here. A lot of us know exactly what we need to do to be able to move forward. A lot of us know. But many of us don't do what we know. You get it? So many of us know, if you talk about, okay, you want to make money, yes, and all these things. Even with your environment you are in right now, you know what you need to do to be able to, to make the money. But sometimes we have all these small limitations within ourselves, like these beliefs we have that is stopping us from really and taking those actions, doing those things we know. So part of you as someone who's helping people, you are like a coach. You are just helping people, guide them through the process of where they are right now to where they want to be. So if you understand it from that angle, that I'm a coach, I want to coach somebody else, I want to give them the strategies. I want to develop a strategy, a framework that will allow this person achieve this result. So I want to coach them. What am I going to teach this person? What do I need to introduce to this person? So from there, you're able to craft out a map, a roadmap to get that person from where they are to that place. So the reason why they are going to take it seriously is because, okay, now they paid to get that thing. Because some people will be like, okay, I paid, so I don't want to. Even though a lot of people still pay, they still don't take action. Yeah. So part of that is why I decided to go with all this weekly stuff, so that we can come together, and you being in the environment, you can see like, hey, let's find ways to make this thing happen. I don't know if it makes sense, but if you have any question, you can jump in. Excuse me, 1 minute.
I think, yeah, that's, thank you for a bit further in terms of what steps to take. And it's just about, thanks for reminding me that I need to put myself and to wear the hat of a coach, and also to have a reflection of probably part of what I've actually experienced previously, and to see and look into how to get them into a journey and create that framework that will get them out of that heartbreak or out of that emotional breakdown. Thanks for that. I don't know if anyone else would like to have any questions. So we have opportunity to go around the table.
Mr. Russell, anybody has any question?
Yeah, I have a question.
Okay, go ahead.
So my question is just simple, sir. I'll pick a niche from what the AI, after I've gone through the AI. So I was asked to make it comprehensive and engaging curriculum, right? So I want you to explain to me what a comprehensive and engaging curriculum looks like, how I should put it, the way I should talk to it, how I should interact with them.
I didn't get what you said. You said you want to make it a what?
After I picked the niche that I was asked, that I thought was the best, that I know a little more about, right? Okay. So AI told me to make it comprehensive and engaging curriculum.
Okay.
So I want you to explain to me what the comprehensive and engaging curriculum, how I can put it together to make it be comprehensive and engaging curriculum. Just to explain that to me. That's what I want to ask.
Okay. On that, let me give you on that hack. In case of next time, it asks you a question like that make it a comprehensive and engaging curriculum. You cannot ask it, okay, give me an example of what you mean, right? Give me an example of what you mean. So it's going to give you some ideas on how to make it that. But let me just give you what it's trying to tell you here. Okay, you've picked a niche right now. Do you have the outline now?
Yes, I have the outline. My niche is actually personal finance fundamental.
Okay, personal finance fundamental. Okay, the next thing once you identify who you want to teach this personal finance to,
yes,
then you identify the problem they are currently going through that will make them want to.
I've identified those.
Okay, you have identified those. Okay, great. So the thing, what it's trying to say is this, right? You want to make it comprehensive in the sense that so you want to break it down in a way that they can understand the concept you are trying to teach them, right? Because if at the end of the day they don't understand it, then there's no point. So you want to make it as simple as possible so they can understand it. And the engaging in that terms is like you want to make it you don't want to make it a passive program. A passive program, what I mean by the person just watching or just reading, is not taking any action. You want to say, okay, at the end of module 1 or chapter 1, you give them action steps to engage them. You understand? To say, okay,
all right,
the steps you want to take. For instance, if I'm going with personal finance, I'm going to say, okay, the first step is let's identify your, what's the word I'm looking for? Let's identify, I've forgotten this term in finance, but it's all about let's identify your baskets. Let me just assume, say, the basket here, your that is the things that's taking you money, that is draining you. That if that's that would be the first step. Like, let's identify those things that are draining you, those small things you are buying with your money that you feel like is nothing. Let's write them down. How much? Let's identify everything you spent money on last week. Do you understand? So that will not be the first step. So from just doing that alone, calculating how much they spent, you realize that the money they actually be looking for is inside those small spending. So now you've allowed them to see one problem they have. That is, they have an uncontrollable spending habit. Yeah. So now the next thing will not be, okay, you've identified the problem. Yeah, you have identified the problem. So the second thing you want to identify is now, okay, let's cut out the things that you are using money to do that are not really worth it. Right? Things you know you don't need. I mean, yes, you don't need. Yeah. So now you can identify those ones from those lists you just came out on. You see that by the time you guide this person through this process gradually, you're actually taking them through a journey already. Do you understand? So at the end of the day, you want them to get that spark in your head that say, wow, so this is the problem I've been facing before, and this is the solution to solve it. So now I know the solution. So now that's how you make it more engaging. You want to make it in a way that they are able to engage in the program and take action, because if you don't take action, then it's truly a waste of time. So that's why, if you understand, with my programs, I always put a workbook so that you go through the workbook and go right, ask you some questions to probe your mind. By doing that, you are already seeing where the problem lies. Do you understand? You're already seeing, okay, wow, this thing is actually, you're giving them the results already. Because once you want to give them that result, best results, it's going to motivate them to want to take action. So if I'm teaching somebody, for instance, unless I'm teaching somebody how to develop a website, the first thing I want to do before I even go teach them all the technicalities and everything, I want to help them create their first web page. Because just by showing them that first web page alone, show them that I can actually do this. Do you get what I'm saying? That's why after the mindset, after I give you the mindset program, whereby from the mindset alone, you already feel like, God, I think I'm slacking. I really need to double up and really make this thing work. I really find my why, because your why now is not a fuel to make you feel like, yes, man, because of this thing, this is why I've dug into now. I need to really make this thing work. I need to really, okay, for instance, your why is to give your mother a better life, or somebody you love a better life. From just that alone, from getting, if you guys did the work in that why, you should be able to, at least, you should be able to tear up, like just digging very deep when you see that, oh, actually, this is really deep. Once you get that first win, now you feel like, okay, the next step is we are creating the product, right? You're already creating the product. You're already seeing using AI to manipulate this stuff, and you see that this thing is giving you the result. The third one is now we are crafting the offer. So now you know your product, you know what you want to sell, you know the outline, then you are crafting the offer. Then the third one now is that, okay, how can we start selling it? How do we find people to buy it? How do we market it? How do we use social media to our advantage to make sure we get it out there? I'll teach you, even if you're not on social media, I'll teach you how to make use of your already existing a circle to sell it. Because if you can just get somebody results, you are going to feel motivated that, yes, this thing works. You get what I'm saying? So I don't know if it makes sense to you.
All right, sir.
I think, I just noticed my Zoom has expired. I didn't even know. I think we only have about 10 minutes left. So guys, let's any other question?
So I have another question, sir.
Okay.
So you talk about we not really, you say let's assume that we just have like 20 to 30% on the product we want to create, right? By using the AI. Like we don't really have to have like 100% on the problems that we want to solve.
No.
So the problem is that the niche that I pick into, right? They give me 4 major problems.
Okay.
So the problems that the niche that I go into is something that is actually happening to me. So out of those major problems, I was able to solve 3 out of myself before. But there was this last one that I'm really going to that I won't be able to solve myself. And it was input in there that I was supposed to solve it when I was able to solve it for my customer avatar. So how can I, me that I haven't still gone find a solution to it. How can I try to come up with the solution? Like, will I ask the SI or go through some ideas or do some research? Like, how can I come up with the idea that I'm able to solve the problem that I've not even solved for myself?
Okay, that's a fantastic question. There's one thing called the minimal valuable product. Minimum valuable product is one concept that a business is used to launch that business. The idea for minimal valuable product is that you don't need to figure out all the solutions first. You just need to get your product into the market and start refining it as you get feedback. Do you get me now? So for instance, right now, for the things we are getting from this Zoom call, is going to allow me to think about the process of creating the next module, because I would want to answer all the questions that a lot of us are having right now. Do you get what I'm saying? So what I'm saying by that is this. When Facebook first came out, or for instance, if you see iPhone, the way they release their product, Apple, you see that they just make one tweak, one change every year. They change one thing, the next year they bring it, they change another thing, the next year they bring it. They're gradually upgrading it. It's not as if they don't have that main product. They already have the one they want to release in 2030 already, or 2040. They already have that product. But the goal is not to gradually take your customer through the journey by ensuring that you solve one problem after another. Do you get what I'm saying now? One problem after another.
Right,
so if you have, that's why I said, if you have your outline already, you already know the problems you need to attack in that product. You already have an outline on how to solve them. Then now, start selling the product. Sell the name and just sell the name and the outline. Just sell it to see if people are going to buy it. People are willing to spend money to buy that product, which we are going to talk about in the next module, right? Once you start doing that, then now you are testing the waters so that you know that, oh, this person paid, this person paid. So now from the money they paid, you know that you already have commitment to produce that product. So what you now do is this: you take them through a 6-week program. What we are doing is the same thing. It's the same thing we are doing right now. We are doing a 6-week program. For everyone who's getting into this, who got into it the first time I launched this program, look, I've not even launched it yet. This is just like a creating phase. So people who got into this program now, you are helping me create it as we go. So I want to make sure I solve your problem as we move further along the journey. That's why I tell people that make sure you do the assignment. You make sure you go and try these things and see where you are stuck, and you can come back and ask questions. So what do I mean by that now? Once you identify your problem you are solving, you identify the customer you're solving it for. So now start finding ways to get that customer into your space, into your community, into your product. Because now when you have them, now you have feedback. Feedback allows you to be able to know how to tailor that program for that person. Do you understand?
All right, sir.
It allows you to tailor that stuff. So you know that, okay, you have feedback. This person does not understand it. Okay, let me break it down and put it this way, put it this way, put it this way. By the time you do that gradually, even if it's only 2 people or 3 people you have, even if it's 1 person, as long as they paid, you are committed now to deliver that product to that person. So once you are done with that, you already have your finished product. So everything will not be now, okay, you have the product already. So as they go through it, you can now start offering support in the sense that like you're answering that question. So if you decide, when you gather enough feedbacks, you can now go back and see how you can, okay, add those things you got from the program. Yeah, somebody asked this fantastic question. Let me package it this way and see to make sure the person understands it. I don't know if you get the point here.
Yeah.
So that
I'm understanding now. So what you're trying to say is that, okay, after we outlined because I was given 6 modules, right? Mm-hmm. And out of those 6 modules, I to my own knowledge, I can't explain all the modules, but I can explain most of it. So what I should do now is that after we find those who are ready to, who have already paid for the course, we should train them through a journey. So through that journey, we'll be able to know how to solve the next problem in order to clear the program once and for all, right?
Yeah. That's why I said you are a coach. What you are doing, you are coaching people through the journey. You understand?
All right, sir.
So being a coach doesn't mean you know everything. No coach knows it all. Do you get? But the most important the most important concept of being a coach is especially when it comes to knowledge industry, when it comes to you are selling knowledge. The truth is this: the most important thing is to have this deep hunger to learn more. To learn more. That's the truth. If you have that deep hunger to learn more, it's going to be very, very easy for you to, as you are taking these people on this journey, you are equipping yourself. Mm-hmm. Do you get me? So, for instance, when it comes to my programs that I offer for $1,000 and above, because I have some coaching programs whereby, the person has to pay $1 million upfront, then I take about 10% for every sale after creating that product. So that a program like that means that for me to have that confidence to teach that person that kind of a program, meaning that I've gone through this thing, I've seen results on it. Yeah. So the more you start building your confidence, the more you start giving people results, the more you are going to be able to start growing in the journey. So you get to a place whereby now, okay, you feel like, okay, maybe your product you're selling for 10,000 before, but you've gotten to a place whereby you know that the product is worth more than that because you've seen that this thing is giving a lot of people results, then you can take it out of there. I said, okay, let me put it at a higher price. I want more people to come in, or I want more serious people to come in so that they can really get into it and take action. But the most important thing is this: you are committed to continuous and never-ending improvements. You are always learning yourself. Because the more you learn, the more you'll be able to teach. Because you can never teach what you do not know. Do you understand? Teaching what I don't know will be, as you're asking me these questions, I'll be telling you what our lecturer will do back in the day in school. Okay, you go do research. Next week, we'll talk about it. So when you go do research now, you will not come back and submit your research papers and now read from your research and come back in class and explain what you've taught them. But because I've done this thing for a very long time, it's allowing me now to draw from different experience to give you this result. But it wasn't like this when I started. I don't know if it makes sense.
All right, sir.
Is there any other
So
question?
my last question is, you said we should create a workbook.
Let's give another person's chance first, because the thing will still end. So that's what I'm saying. Let's give another person's chance. Do you have any other question, anybody? I know we are learning from what you are asking, but just hold on your question first. Any other questions? Rosa, you don't have any question? I think Rosa is in a place where he can't talk.
Okay. Mine is just a contribution anyway.
Okay.
Yeah. What I want to say is that
First of all, let them know that I think you just created your product and you've made about 6 sales already, right? I'll be 6, I'll be 7.
Exactly. I've made like 6 sales.
I mean, well, it took the program. I think it just took the program last month, or I'll be 2 months, a month ago now, not even up to a month ago. So if you can go ahead.
I took the course not up to 2 months.
Okay.
But what I just did was I took action, not just going. In fact, as I was going through the course, I was creating my own course. As I was going through his own course, I was creating my own course. And within 2 months, I was able to launch my own course.
You're not even launched yet. You are still in the seed stage. Don't worry, I will teach you how to launch it.
Okay. Okay.
You are still in the seed stage. What I call seed stage. You are just gathering. You are just just making small sales. But when it comes to relaunch, I'll show you how to launch that. We'll talk about that